All right, let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION this morning, where Russian President Vladimir Putin will be arriving to India today for a two-day visit, during which New Delhi and Moscow will be signing, amongst other things, a deal on the sale of the Russian S-400 air defense missile system to India. Now, Vladimir Putin will be holding the 19th annual Indo-Russia bilateral summit along with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, the countries will be signing as many as 20 different arms and energy deals in the wake of United States sanctions against Russian defense imports. Notably, India and Russia will also be signing the $5 billion S-400 air defense deal, allowing India to procure Russia's most advanced surface-to-air missile system. Now, the other arms deal on agenda includes the agreement for production of AK-103 assault rifles in India, and also the sale of frigate-class warships to the Indian Navy. Now, apart from the key defense agreements, the two nations are also expected to sign a deal on training of the first ever Indian space crew in the Gagarin Center in Russia. Now, the last annual summit between Russia and India had been held in June 2017, during which Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited Russia. Now, Vladimir Putin and Narendra Modi held an informal summit in the Russian city of Sochi in the month of May earlier this year. Russian President Vladimir Putin will have a packed schedule during his India visit. Now, Putin will land at the Palam Airport in New Delhi later this evening, after which he'll be holding a meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, the highlight of day two of Putin's India trip will be the signing of the key bilateral agreements between India and Russia. Now, Putin will also be meeting the Prime Minister again at 11 a.m. tomorrow, shortly after which he will be engaging in delegation-level talks as well. Now, the two leaders will address the media after signing multiple arms and energy deals. Now, the Russian president will be attending the Indo-Russia Business Summit late in the afternoon. Vladimir Putin will be meeting with the Indian President Ramnath Kovind at the Rashtrapati Bhavan before departing to Moscow.
Ну и при нашем самом активном участии, но, разумеется, это не могло предприятие.
All right, so it is a significant visit where the Russian president will be in India later this evening, and to discuss the implications of this, we're joined in by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, is joining us live. Good morning to you, Siddhant. Now, this is a very significant meeting of the Russian president who will be in India later this evening, and we expect the S-400 air defense missile deal will be struck. But what will be the implications of this deal?
Well, a lot of implications, and S-400 deal is something that's getting all the limelight during this annual summit, the 19th annual summit between India and Russia. Last year it happened in St. Petersburg, and this deal of course provides India that edge when it comes to in case there is a two-front war with Pakistan and China. But it's also causing some heartburns in Washington, because under the CAATSA law in America, it's an American law, any country that is having a substantial defense deal with Russia, North Korea, can be under this law, can come under sanctions, American sanctions. So India can come under American sanctions, but the American president can give a waiver. Question is, will US president give a waiver to India or not? And India is trying to lobby for that in Washington with the Capitol Hill and of course with the US President Donald Trump. But this deal of course gives a lot of edge to India, and India and Russia have had a long standing partnership, time-tested one, and there are a lot of legacy defense equipment which India has of Russian origin. So right. India can't ditch Russia for a new partnership with America. So India would like to balance with Russia and the US both.
Right. Absolutely, indeed. Now, CAATSA is an important issue. And the other important sticking point in the meeting with the Russian president, Siddhant, will, of course, be the purchase of oil from Iran. Now, the US sanctions will kick in on the Iranian oil supplies by November. Is there any development that is expected on that front?
Well, India and Russia are going to discuss all the regional and global issues, including the sanctions on Iran, especially on oil. And we saw from UNGA address of the US President, he said he's going to engage with countries so that they cut oil import from Iran. But with Iran also, India has a time-tested relationship, especially on energy front, and Chabahar has been a key pillar of India's foreign policy. But with Russia, it's also a relationship that is a strategic and privileged one. So through Iran and Russia, India plans to have a north-south
Right.
corridor, a connectivity plan that connects Moscow through Chabahar to Mumbai. So Iran is a valuable partner and a key player when it comes to India-Russia ties, and that of course will be one of the key highlights and priorities when the Indian Prime Minister and Russian President Vladimir Putin sit at the Hyderabad House here in New Delhi.